Hello students, welcome to online classes of Geography of class 11. This is your first class, online class for Geography. The first chapter that is mentioned over here is India location. But before going to this, let me say what are the topics that I'm going to discuss. First, I'll explain about the syllabus of geography and the exam pattern. And then I'll discuss about some of the keywords that is there in your first chapter, that is India location. Now, let me just proceed with the syllabus and exam pattern. Altogether, you're having 3 books of geography. Now, fundamentals of physical geography. It is related to the physical geography. There you are having 6 unit and it carries 30 marks. And in this book, the maps and the diagrams carries 5 marks. So altogether, the first book, that is part A, Physical Fundamentals of Physical Geography, consists of 35 marks. Now part B, that is India Physical Environment. Now in this entire is related to all the topics. It's just a repetition what you have already studied in class 9, that is related to your location of India, physical features of India, drainage, climate, natural vegetation, soil structure, natural hazards and disaster. All are coming under this topic in this unit, that is in this part B. And it also have the same distribution of the marks. The maps and diagrams are having 5 marks and the rest textual part is having 30 marks, that means 35. So till now we got 35 and 35, that is 70 marks. Remaining 30 marks, the third book is your practical work. Now there are 2 units basically in this practical. First is fundamental of the maps, that consists of 10 marks, and second unit is topographic and weather map, that consists of 15 marks. So it makes that is 25. Now the 5 mark is there for your practical file or the record that you are going to make and viva voce. Now the last part is not coming in the slide, that practical record. Just listen to the video. So altogether it makes 30 marks. So 35 marks is there for part A, that is fundamental of physical geography. 35 marks is there for part B, that is India physical and environment, and 30 marks is there for part C, that is practical work. Altogether it makes 100 marks. So let us start with our discussion. Hope you will enjoy the entire session of geography, and I'm proceeding with the first chapter with its keywords. Now the keywords that I'm going to discuss you have already studied in the junior classes, but once again I'm just recapitulating the definition of all these keywords before proceeding with the detailing of the chapter. Number 1, latitude. Now what is the definition of a latitude? The horizontal imaginary line, you can see the imaginary line, that horizontal imaginary lines that runs from west to east direction. And what do they measure? They measure the angular distance. They measure the angular distance from north to south. They measure the angular distance from north to south with respect to what? With respect to equator. And these are parallels as they do not intersect or coincide with each other. So these are the imaginary lines that runs from west to east direction, and they measure the angular distance from north to south. And what is the respect? That is the equator line. So this is latitude. Now next, the next term is longitude. What is a longitude? Longitude, the vertical imaginary line running from north to south, measuring the angular distance from east to west. They measure the angular distance from east to west with respect to what? With respect to prime meridian, the 0 degree that you can see over here, that is the prime meridian. But another thing you can see that they coincide near the poles. They coincide near the poles. So these are vertical lines running from north to south and measuring the angular distance from east to west with respect to prime meridian and coinciding near the poles. Now these are also termed as meridians. Why they are termed as meridians? The word meridian means midday. Now all the longitudes that are drawn, you can see it is connecting some of the places. Now here you can see it is connecting a part of a Europe, then it is connecting a part of Africa, the places of Africa. This is the Sahara Desert region. Here it is France and that is Paris over there. Now these areas, what do you think? In why it is being joined by such one line? Because the lines are connected where these places having the midday at that same particular time. So the meridian means midday, places where 12 noon is having at that same time, means it is not, there is no such variations that when it is 12 noon in that part of Africa, similarly at that same midday is there in that part of Europe also. So those places which is having that midday at that same moment of time, those places will be joined by this vertical imaginary line from north to south. Thus wise it is termed as meridian. Now the next, it's related to the next word, that is peninsula. Now we all know our country is a peninsular country. Now what is the meaning of the word peninsula? A long, narrow, triangular stretch of land protruding into the sea so that almost surrounded by water from three sides. You can see it's a triangular landmass and it protrudes towards sea, and on its three sides we are having the water. On its east, southeast, we are having the Bay of Bengal. On its southwest, we are having the Arabian Sea. And in the southern part, we are having the Indian Ocean. So this is peninsula. The next keyword is related to subcontinent. Now we all know continent means a large defined area. Now it is also a large, well-defined natural geographical unit that stands out distinctly from the rest of the continent. Now India is, you can see the map of India, Indian subcontinent. We term it as a Indian subcontinent. Now India is a part of Asia. So it stands distinctly from the rest of Asia along with the other countries. And what are the other countries? Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal and Bhutan. They are having the common land frontier. Pakistan, that is Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh, they are having the common land frontier, and their physical features and their cultural features are more or less the same, and they stand differently from the rest of the Asia. So this entire large natural geographical unit of land is termed as subcontinent. Now let us move. Now one more thing, Sri Lanka is also a neighboring country and there are many other neighboring countries, but they are not having a land frontier, common land frontier. Sri Lanka is not having a connected land frontier with India. So that's why it does not come under the category of subcontinent. Next it is Indian mainland and union. Now Indian mainland, all the 28 states along with its capital are termed as Indian land. As I said about the Indian mainland, all the 28 states along with its capital are termed as Indian mainland. Now Indian Union, all the 28 states, it's in 9 union territories with its capital are termed as Indian Union. Now, let me just say about the one more thing about the Indian Union specifically, when we are talking about the latitudinal and the longitudinal extent, when we exclude the both the island groups, that is Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar island groups, then we say we are calculating the latitudinal extent for the Indian mainland. And when we include both the island groups, we term it as that we are mentioning about, or we are calculating the latitudinal extent of the Indian Union. So what is the basic difference between the mainland and the Union? The basic difference, that is the inclusion of both the island groups. If it is included, then it is Union. If it is not included, then it is mainland. Now next we'll proceed to the next keyword, that is Gulf. Now hopefully you have heard about Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Khambat. You can see this stretch of area where the pointer is moving it out, that it is a extended part of an ocean, or it is a portion of an ocean that penetrates land. You can find out it's the sea that is partially enclosed by the land mass. This is Gulf of Kutch. Similar, it is there, the partially stretched extended part of the ocean that is enclosed by the landmass. So we are in our country, we are having three Gulf. One is Gulf of Kutch, one is Gulf of Khambat, and another one where Sri Lanka and Tamil Nadu part is there, that is Gulf of Mannar. So it is a portion of the ocean that penetrates towards land. Next, strait. Now please don't get mistaken with the spelling. The spelling is correct. Here the strait does not mean a straight line. It is a feature. It is a channel of water that lies between two landmass. Now see, this is India. On the left hand side, this is India, and this is Sri Lanka. Now you can see a narrow channel like structure. A narrow channel like structure that is joining the two land masses. It is not a land mass, it is a channel of water, a bluish water. You can see a bluish tinge. It's a channel of water. So this narrow channel of water is termed as strait, and this feature is named as Park Strait. So hopefully you got the basic difference between Gulf and Park Strait. Now Gulf is the extended portion of the ocean that penetrates the land. It moved towards the land, and here it is a joining part, that is a channel of water that joins the two land masses, that is strait. Now the next keyword is island. It's very common to everybody. A landmass entirely surrounded by the water. It's a picture of Andaman Nicobar Island Group, and you can see that the Andaman Nicobar Island Group is entirely encircled by the landmass. So when we get such a type of feature on the earth's surface, we term it as an island. The next keyword is standard meridian. Now standard meridian means what? The centralmost meridian that passes through a country, selected to set up the local time for the nation. Now why standard meridian? It is there. You can see a line that is given over there, that is 82 degree 30 minutes east. Actually it is 30 minutes east, 82.5 it's written. It is 82 degree 30 minutes east is the standard meridian. 82 and a half degree. Half degree means 30 minutes, not 5 degree. It's written over there. It's just mistaken. It will be 30 minutes east. It's a standard meridian. Now, Arunachal Pradesh, on the right hand side, we are having Arunachal Pradesh. When it is, that is 4 a.m., that means sun is rising over there. It is still dark in Gujarat. So that means if over there it is 4 a.m., the watches will show 4 a.m. What will be the watch that Gujarat will be displaying? Obviously, it has also to show that 4 a.m. only. Maybe it is darkened over there, and maybe it is still it's the sun has rises over there. But to solve this problem. Now suppose if it is over there it's 4 a.m. and if it is over here it's 2 a.m., then it will be a big problem for the entire country. So just to solve this problem, the standard meridian has been selected, that is dividing the country into two equal half, and the time that is calculated from here is IST, Indian Standard Time, based upon this longitude. Now the next is Bay. Now we know Bay of Bengal is there. Just see the picture. Bay. A bay is a body of water partially surrounded by the land from its three sides. Now on the, you can see the Bay of Bengal, it's just a circular structure, it is there. On its left hand side we are having the southern, that is the eastern coastal plain. On its north we are having that delta region, that is the Sundarban delta region, and on its west we are having entirely that the Myanmar region. On its east we are having the Myanmar region. On its west we are having the southeast India. On its north we are having the delta region, and on its east we are having the Myanmar zone. So this entire part we are having, it's partially surrounded by the land masses from its three sides, this water body, and as it is connected to the Bengal, so it is termed as Bay of Bengal. Now the next keyword is hemisphere. Sphere means a circle. Hemisphere means half of a sphere. Now the earth possesses 4 hemispheres. Just see the map. It is clearly visualized. We are having two imaginary lines. The most two imaginary line, one is equator running from west to east direction, and one is prime meridian running from north to south direction. Now the equator divides the earth into two hemispheres, that is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and prime meridian divides the entire sphere into two, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. So entirely there are 4 hemispheres with respect to equator to north and south, with respect to prime meridian to east and west. So there are 4 hemispheres. Next, it's related to mountain pass. Now mountain pass, which is naturally being developed, it's not been constructed by the human activities. It has been developed when the mountains are in process of formation. At that time, when the valleys are formed, the gap that is being developed, the low-lying areas that is being developed, it is a mountain pass. It is a navigable route through a mountain range, and some common names that is given, we term it as gap, we term it as col, we term it as a saddle, or we term it as a gorge, and these are there where we are having highest peaks in the northern part of our country. Next, it is isthmus. Now, isthmus is a narrow strip of land connecting two large land areas. Now, just have a picture of a world map, that is North America and South America. Now, suppose this is North America and this is South America. So in between we are having Latin America. Now when both the Americas are connected by a neck-like structure of the land masses, that neck-like structure is termed as isthmus. So hopefully there can be a difference between strait and isthmus. Strait connects the two land masses, that is a water channel, it is a water body, and isthmus connect the two land masses, that is land areas, a neck-like structure. So it is termed as isthmus. So these are some of the key words related to your first chapter. I have already discussed all the keywords, and hopefully you understood all these keywords very nicely. And please follow the video and the PDF that has already been uploaded in the site. And if you are having any doubts, just mention it in the comment section, and hopefully you have enjoyed the class. and thank you for following the first class. Have a nice day.